I don't recommend in 2026 that you quit your job and start an online business. Now, I'm not saying that for like dramatic effect. I'm not saying that for clickbait. I'm genuinely seeing a trend in 2025, 2026 that starting an online business is becoming harder and harder and harder and harder to do. It's becoming more saturated. There's less trust. Everything and everybody just thinks each other's a scam. It's just not the same, right? And I'm not even joking. I've actually lost around 50-ish thousand US dollars this year in online business. Now that's not too crazy to say the least, because obviously some people are spending that like per month on like ads or like buying a business, or some businesses don't even turn a profit for like 5 years. So I'm not stressing too much because I can do that for like a decade plus and lose that much money or whatever, right? That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make though is this: please don't fall for all the BS online, all these BS business models online. And what I want you to do instead is follow what I'm about to say, because I've noticed that when I make the most money, it's when I'm doing what I'm about to tell you what I'm doing. And I've also seen that other people, the people that are killing it online right now, are also doing this exact same thing as well. So please listen to me. There's no script in this video. I'm really trying to speak from the heart to you guys right now. Please do not start an online business. Do not quit your job and then start one of these traditional online businesses unless you're willing to do what I'm about to tell you in this video. So let me break this down, right? I've noticed that when it comes to starting an online business, the absolute best thing you could ever possibly do for your business is become a content creator. But it's not just creating content that gets you clients, makes you money, that sort of stuff. What I've noticed specifically, the people that are killing it the most, and when I was killing it the most, and when I ignored this, I stopped making as much money as I was supposed to be making, which again, I'm not too worried about, because like I said, I've made over $1 million now online in my 20s, which is, way more than what I could even anticipate. And it put me like 3 years ahead of my actual like goal schedule. I thought like, oh, I'm gonna make $1 million by the age of 30. And I was like, that's way too crazy to even say. But what I've noticed, genuinely what I've noticed, and please, I can prove my point to you guys by just simply getting you to open up a new tab right now and doing what I say. So I want you to, right, just look around the marketplace right now. Everybody's trying to sell you on some new business model, some new business idea, or whatever it is. But I'm here to tell you, their business model is them selling you on a business model. Can you not see this? Now, it's not as nefarious as I'm trying to make it sound out to be. It's just that a lot of people are going blind into these businesses. They're starting these dropshipping stores or whatever it is, not realizing that the guy that's telling you to start dropshipping is actually making more money talking about dropshipping than he ever actually has from dropshipping. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that's necessarily unethical. What I'm trying to say, obviously, by the way, if he's just selling a course on dropshipping and he's never done dropshipping, then obviously that's unethical. But what I'm trying to say to you guys is this: look, I've noticed there's a business model that's really killing it in 2025 and will do in 2026. And that's number one, becoming a content creator. If you're going to start an online business, please know that online business these days is synonymous with becoming a online content creator. Like, those two things go hand in hand. The second thing I've realized is that it's not just any random content that you have to, like, you can't just create any random content and think you're going to make money from this content, right? What I've noticed is that the people that make the most money online these days have the most synthesized down, easier to follow, clarity bringing content. I know that's a bit of a weird and wild statement to make, or like it's hard to kind of understand, but here's what I mean. I've noticed the people that are making the most money are people that are able to synthesize information down and then turn that synthesized information into either a service, a product, or some sort of coaching program. This is where the real money is genuinely at, and you guys are not seeing it. It's not just the act of thinking you're gonna, quit your business and become a day trader. First of all, please don't do that. I don't believe there's any value in day trading. I believe that online business is about helping people achieve a transformation, or to help them achieve a transformation through time compression. Like you're speeding up their journey to success by either doing a service for them, just doing the thing for them, right? Doing a service for them, or you're helping them compress the time down from maybe 5 years until success to maybe 2 years till success. And you're saving them a bunch of time. I call that time compression. And I've noticed the people that are absolutely killing it in 2025, 2026, and what I'm going back to as well is what I call synthesizing information. Let me explain. So to synthesize information, right? All it basically means is instead of building a business, become an information synthesizer. That's the missing part to most people's businesses. Like, for example, if you take an agency owner right now, right? Because we all know that like freelancing and starting an agency is probably one of the best beginner-friendly business models you can ever get into, because it simply doesn't require you to be an expert or teach something that you haven't actually ever done yet. Because think about it, like if I was talking to my little brother or you guys right now and you're working like a job, like an entry-level job or whatever it is, right? You've never made a penny online. You can't just immediately jump into coaching somebody or selling an online course, because that's literally a scam. Unless you work in like tech or like a very sought after job that you've actually got skills in. But if you're working like an entry-level job at like a retail store, you don't know shit about shit to even coach on. You know what I'm trying to say? So your best bet is to put together some sort of service and offer that as a done for you type of ordeal, where you're doing the service for somebody, because you don't have to be an expert to do that. You can bring in talent, you can use AI to learn a skill. But what I've noticed is this: if you take two people that are exactly the same beginner level, right? And one of them just starts an agency, builds his own like little website on Go High Level or whatever website builder he's basically using, right? And then starts doing cold outreach to people on maybe like LinkedIn, whatever it is, and he doesn't create content, I am telling you, he is going to get his ass kicked by the other guy that does the exact same thing, but this time he creates synthesized content. What I mean by synthesized content is, let's say, right, these two people are running some sort of AI automation agency. I know that that's going like, that's like one of the big trends right now, that people are talking about AI automation. We've all seen the AI bandwagon type thing, pop up. If you take two people, you've got one person just running an agency doing cold outreach. He's a nobody online. He's got no content out there online. He's just doing cold outreach to people, hoping and begging to get clients. That, I think the days of doing that is done. And I've been trying to tell you this since I pretty much started this whole YouTube channel, right? So let me explain. The second person though, who creates content and puts, or should I say, he goes out there and he finds all of the top information about AI automation, and then he regurgitates that information back on camera like I'm doing right now. So let's say you get this guy, right? To break it down in the most simple terms is, you go out there, you find the best information from the top dudes. You either buy the fucking information or you just use it, you just find it for free online. It takes, if you haven't got the money, you're gonna have to spend time. If you've got the money, then you can save time by spending the money, by finding this information, right? Whatever you gotta do to get this information. So what I've noticed is people that are killing it these days are people that are continuously learning, continuously investing into their information, continuously pushing themselves out of their comfort zone, finding this new information. And then what they're able to do is they're able to break all of this messy information down into a clear step-by-step process, or a clear step-by-step system / protocol, which then becomes the service that they sell. So just the easiest way to break this down would be this: person one does nothing and just tries to hire an outsourcer and find AI agency clients by just doing cold outreach. I don't think that's going to work anymore in 2026, just genuinely, right? So don't quit your job to do that shit. If you're going to quit your job, please know you're going to have to start creating content. You really are going to have to start creating content, genuinely. Because the second person that creates content, right? Let's say he does this. He goes out there, he finds all of the best courses on AI and AI automation. Well, first of all, he's going to be way more clued in. He's going to have way better ideas. He's then going to be able to start putting his own unique twists on things. And this is where he's going to start standing out. Not only is he going to be able to start talking like an expert, but he's going to be able to start breaking down complex topics into simple step-by-step processes that other people can follow. So if you was a real estate agent, right, and you was looking for somebody to help you with AI automation because you knew AI is the new thing and you want to figure out how to use it to automate your emails, automate your lead nurturing, automate your Facebook ads, and then you come across two dudes, one of them just sends you a DM saying, hey, I can help you with this AI automation, versus the other dude that shows you he can. So instead of telling people you can, you need to start showing people you can actually do what it is that you say you can do. And you can do this by synthesizing, like I said, synthesizing down information. Again, it's as simple as this: going out there, finding the best of the best people in your industry or adjacent to your industry, or that's good at the service that you want to, offer to people, and just really just start to rip all of the best things from all of the best people, and then you combine it and put your own unique spin on that to create something that's wholly unique. This is exactly what I did with one of my online programs called Agency Transmutation. I love telling this story because this is like my just like proof to you guys that this stuff really works. I was a nobody online. I was a complete beginner, and all I did is I bought course after course, mentor after mentor. I don't think I even had the money for mentors back then. So it was just courses after courses after courses, right? And all I've ever done is gone out and tried certain things and took the best bits from one program, the best bits from another program, the best bits from another program, and then put my own personal twist on that. And I brought something new and unique to the marketplace. And then I've turned that into a step-by-step solution, or even in your case, it would be a step-by-step service that you can offer as a done-for-you thing. Because beginners, please just start with offering some sort of service, right? So what I'm not saying is this, because I know there's going to be a dude in the comment section saying, so basically you're telling me to go buy courses and steal everything what's inside the course. No, not technically. What I'm telling you to do is I need you to start reading information, watching courses, getting mentors, testing that information on yourself like I did, which is why I'm down like 50 cakes. But now I know what not to do and what to do. Like I said in my last video, I've gone around, I've just been trying to collect acquisition systems like I'm friggin' Thanos from the Avengers, right? That's all I do. I'm living proof of this stuff. I literally go out there and put my own money where my own mouth is to figure out what works in the marketplace and what doesn't. Now, people look up to me because I can now say humbly, which is crazy to even say, look, I lost 50 grand doing this stuff, but I now know what not to do. And because people hear that, they're like, oh shit, okay, fair enough. I'm not going to do all those things that I thought I should be doing, like running the VSL funnel, doing cold outreach, all this crazy stuff. Because I've been there, I've done all of that for you. So now I know what not to do and I know what to do, and I can assimilate all that information and combine it, aka synthesize it into something new and unique. That's what I mean. That's why people trust me. That's why people will buy from me. And that's why I'm not too stressed about losing 30, 50, whatever it is, right? Again, it's not the greatest losing money, but I personally take this off as a research phase. This is what I think a lot of people are missing. People are missing that research phase. They're just jumping straight into trying to sell some service or something, right? And I feel like you've got to earn the right to sell a service in 2026. You've got to earn it. You've got to actually do something. You've got to learn from the top dogs. And this is what I've noticed. You really do have to learn from the top dogs. Take one thing from one person, take another thing from another person, take another thing from a third person, for example, put your own unique perspective on it, and then you bring that to a market. And just like that, you've created what you call a unique mechanism. Now, the people who follow this, I call them information synthesizers. Because think about it. In 2025, 2026, there's not a lack of information. You've probably watched hundreds of YouTube videos telling you what business model to start, and your brain is literally fried. Your brain's probably, it's cooked, as the youth are saying these days. Your brain's probably cooked, right? So what I've noticed is that there's not a lack of information. There's too much fucking information on the internet. So if you can be that guy in your marketplace, right, in your industry, in the industry that you serve, if you can be that guy that's able to bring clarity by taking complex and hard to understand pieces of information that's scattered all over the place, and you can bring it into one succinct kind of like place, I call that synthesizing, to create something new and unique. Again, the example of the AI automation for real estate agents. Real estate agents are just good at like selling houses, for example. They might not be good at marketing, doing this AI stuff. You got to remember this. These are just normal human beings. Just because they call themselves a real estate agent doesn't mean they're freaking good at like marketing. Doesn't mean they're good at running Facebook ads. It doesn't mean that they're good at using AI. It doesn't mean that they're good at nurturing leads on an automated way and building like an automated AI agent type thing. That they're probably not good at that sort of stuff. So if you can go outside of their market, right, you can collect all of the information that they don't have the time to do, by the way. They don't have the time to do all of this stuff. They're trying to run their business. Think about it. So you need to be that person that has the time, that can spend the money to go out there to collect all of the best information. This is exactly what I've been doing for the last 1.5 years. Literally, I've stopped trying to grow my business because I can see this trend coming from a mile away. I can see this trend coming from a mile away. He who has the best product and service and who's the most authentic is going to win in 2026 and 2027 and beyond for the next 5 years. So I'm taking the time out now to show you guys that I took the time out of my business, destroyed everything to go and find and assimilate information. I've gone out there and I've tested all the VSL funnels. I've gone out there and I've bought all the courses that you possibly could buy, all from the big names. Not even joking, right? Or I've been given access to them. So I've been out there. I've been into the marketplace. I'm actively in the marketplace buying people's solutions to find what's bullshit and what's not. And I'm happy to tell you that I've actually found what works and what doesn't, which is why when people come to me, they know full well that I'm legit. They've seen what I've done. I document it all and I can talk about things off the top of my head. It's almost like I've become a walking encyclopedia on when it comes to like client acquisition. So when it comes to like beginners needing their first client, I know exactly what to tell them and what to do. This is what you call a synthesizer business. It's not just being able to like do a service. Anybody can do a service now with AI. You see what I'm trying to say? Like that's not the important bit. What I've noticed is the important bit is being able to build an audience of people that know you, like you, and trust you because you've gone out there, you've done the information gathering, you've done the information synthesizing, which is AKA, you've gone out there, you've bought all the best courses, you've found all the best information online for free or whatever it is, you've put all the information together into a nice package and you've sold that as a service. But not only have you sold it as a service, you've also displayed online on social media that you know what you're talking about. This is where you're going to get, and this is how you're going to get people to know you, like you, and trust you. The next part of the phase is this. Don't just rely on organic content. So that was phase 1. Please don't start a business unless you're going to be willing to create content and synthesize information down. Do not start an online business in 2026 unless you're willing to create content, specifically short form and long form content, specifically long form content. And please don't start an online business and quit your job type thing if you're not willing to synthesize, first of all, learn information, test that information, and then synthesize that information down into a step-by-step protocol or standard operating procedure, aka a service that you can do for somebody. Don't even dare start a business if you're not willing to do those two things. The next thing you're going to do, so that's phase 1. Phase 2 is this. If you're really serious about this, I've noticed that organic content is starting to, I won't say it's starting to slowly die, but what I've noticed is that because everybody's trying to build like a personal brand and document their lives and all that crazy stuff, right? What I've noticed is that business is starting to become a little bit more pay to play. What I mean by that is that yes, as a young creator or somebody that's just starting, you will get your channel pushed. But what I've noticed is that you can't really control who your content's being pushed to. So here's what I did when I first got started. And this is how you know I'm not talking bullshit, because you can literally go back onto my LinkedIn page. I haven't used LinkedIn in a very long time, by the way. So forgive the inactivity on my LinkedIn. But this is exactly what I would do if I was going back. I would start creating content on a short form platform. I would then pay money, yes, like $5 a day, $10 a day, to have that content shown by my ideal prospects, because content is becoming pay to play, I believe. There are people out there with big ad budgets. There are people out there that have got all these crazy camera equipments, professional mics, all this crazy stuff that you're going up against. So what I've noted, and not only that, but the algorithm doesn't read, it takes a while for it to figure out who you're trying to talk to. and show your content to. So we can speed this up by taking a short form content. So if you're going like B2B market, if you're going after like business owners, real estate agents, those sorts of people, you can use a platform like LinkedIn. So I would make it this simple. You either pick LinkedIn or you pick Instagram. LinkedIn or Instagram. Those are your two options, right? For your short form platform. And all you're going to be doing on that short form platform is posting one piece of content per day. And all you're really trying to do is solicit people to DM you or comment on and engage with your content. All the people that comment, engage, those are the people that you're going to start, having conversations with. And then so that's your primary goal. Your secondary goal is to get them over to your longer form content. So think about it. If you're in like a B2B niche that's like primarily your prospects or your potential clients primarily live on LinkedIn, well, then you would use LinkedIn. But if you know that your niche is primarily on Instagram, well, then you would use Instagram. And what you would do is you would pay these platforms to have your content shown by your ideal client avatar, right? And then that would bring in new people, new followers, new subscribers, new connection requests, all that good stuff, new engagement on your content. And all your job is to do is to have conversation with these people, because conversations are the fastest way to make money in 2026. Just having a conversation with somebody, figure out what it is that they want, what are they struggling with, diagnose their situation, see if you can genuinely even help them. Then what I would do is I would push them over to my long form content. The reason for this is because Google, like I said, in like so many of my other friggin' YouTube videos, go back and watch them. It's taking like 7 hours. Google did a study, right? So it takes like 7 hours of somebody watching your content across 11 different interactions with your brand across 4 different platforms. Now, not all content's the same, which is why sometimes I'll be able to create one YouTube video, maybe 2 YouTube videos, right? Somebody will watch 2 YouTube videos, maybe spend 10 minutes watching each video, and they'll already be sold, because not all content's the same, by the way. So it's not exactly that somebody needs to watch exactly 7 hours of your content, but on average, it takes around 7 hours of somebody watching your content for them to even think about buying. Now, let me ask you this. Do you have 7 hours worth of content on any platform right now that a potential prospect can watch and actually get nurtured by? If the answer is no, then don't quit your job and don't start a business. If the answer is yes, then you can start thinking about creating more content, because now you've got a treasure trove of lead nurturing assets that a potential prospect can go through, get warmed up to you, know you, like you, and trust you, and then also understand your own unique mechanism, which, by the way, your unique mechanism, like I said, comes from you synthesizing down information. Now, let me give you a couple of names that are doing this right now so you know that I'm not talking shit. Mr. Iman Gaji, we all know he creates a bunch of content talking about complex topics or business or whatever it is, right? If you don't believe business is a complex topic, then it really is. You'd be a millionaire already if it wasn't a complex topic. So he's breaking down that, whether you like the guy or not, right? We've got Charlie Morgan doing the exact same thing. We've got Sam Ovens. He did the exact same thing. We've got Alex Hormozi doing the exact same thing. We've got Ali Abdaal doing the exact same thing. We've got Dan Coe doing the exact same thing. We've got Montel Gordon doing the exact same thing. We've got Jordan Welsh doing the exact same thing. We've got all these dudes out here, right? William Brown doing the exact same thing. All these dudes do is they go out there, they research, they're in the niche themselves, right? They're in the niche. So they're obviously looking around, they're seeing things, they're taking in information, they're soaking it up. They're then putting their own unique twist to things, assimilating the information and packaging in that information and either selling it as a service or coaching or digital products. If you can understand what I just said, I'm telling you, you can make $1 million online like I did in my 20s. Now, it's not guaranteed, but I'm telling you, I believe this is the most surefire path to do that, because it takes care of your lead generation, creating content does. It takes care of people getting to know you, like you, and trust you. And it takes care of them believing in your unique mechanism. If you can do those 3 things, you're going to make money online. It's just a matter of when. I have students that are booking calls with potential customers and clients, right, from their YouTube channels, and they've literally got 9 subscribers on their channel. I have another student that's running a e-commerce email marketing agency. You would have thought that stuff doesn't work anymore. Think about it. E-commerce has to be the most saturated niche to run a SMMA business in. Think about it. SMMA is like one of the most saturated businesses. Everybody says SMMA is dead. It's not really dead. It's just a service business. Then on top of that, Everybody says that within SMMA, so that's already saturated. Within SMMA, e-commerce is the most saturated niche within the most saturated business. So that's like saturation squared. That's like being super saturated, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Yet this guy's made over 150K from his agency as a complete like nobody online. No offense to this guy. He doesn't have a big audience. Not saying he's a nobody online, but you get the idea. He's not like he's like mega famous. I don't even think he has even 5,000 followers across all of his channels, right? But he's made over 150K from his agency just doing email marketing for e-commerce brands, which is like, it's like a saturated niche within a saturated business offering a saturated service. That's saturation cubed. You know what I'm trying to say? Yet he's been able to make money and you haven't. And the reason why is because of this. He's synthesizing information online and he's displaying that information online. And I call that displayed understanding. AKA, he's creating content specifically for that niche. He's taking complex and hard to understand or even time-consuming, inconvenient research. So you all know it takes a long time to do research and come up with something new and blah, 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 blah. These e-commerce business owners probably don't have the time for that. They're too busy worrying about products and customer service and what new product line they're gonna sell and maybe retargeting ads and whatever it is. They've got a million and one other things to be worried about than that, right? So along comes this Matthias guy, one of my students, right? And he starts assimilating information from the best of the best dudes in the market about email marketing for e-commerce brands. And he just specializes in that. He reads all the books about email marketing. He watches all the YouTube videos about email marketing. He takes all the courses around this thing. No wonder why he's able to synthesize his information down, because he's like a walking sponge. You have to become a walking sponge, because when you become a walking sponge, you can then take the best concepts and ideas from all these, external sources, and you can coagulate them or, synthesize them down, assimilate them into a cool, unique, new, novel service with your own unique spin on it. You see what I'm trying to say? If you can understand what I just said there, I know that I may not be saying it in the clearest way, but it's as simple as that. Go out there, find information from all the top dudes, become a walking encyclopedia. You then display that you're a walking encyclopedia, and you're able to take concepts from all of the best people from all over the place. You're then able to take those concepts and create your own unique way of doing things. That's what I call information synthesis. So if you're not willing to become a synthesizer or build a synthesis business in 2025, 2026, I should just say 2026 these days. If you're not willing to do that in 2026, do not quit your job. I don't think it's gonna work. So yes, you've got to get over the old idea of, I'm just gonna be lazy and hire a media buyer to run an agency for me. I'm just gonna hire somebody to do this for me. Now, don't get me wrong, you still can have team members. It's just that you're probably going to need to do something to stand out. And the way you stand out is by becoming an authority in your niche. And the way you do that is by actually learning in your niche and actually being able to break down complex topics into ways that a 5-year-old could understand. Once you do that, people then start having aha moments when you speak to the camera. Once you give people enough aha moments, they're bought into you as a person, because you've just taught them the latest and greatest tricks when it comes to AI, automation, and email marketing, and whatever it is. And now they want to buy the service from you, even though they've got 20 different people offering the exact same service. You see what I'm trying to say? That's called information synthesis. And I want you to build an information synthesizer business in 2026. That's what I'm going to be doing, when I'm going back to what I've always told you guys to do, and what I tried to escape from. And my income went down. To be fair though, being an information synthesizer, sometimes your income has to go down so that you can go out there and get new material. You can go out there and learn the best of the best things. You can go out there and try things, because now I know what not to do and what to do. See what I'm trying to say? It's just part of the game of being an information synthesizer. Sometimes you got to take a year out, 2 years out, 3 months out, a month out, whatever it is, to learn this information. And by the way, this information can be learned quickly if you're willing to put the work in. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe. Message me on Instagram if you need any help when it comes to either deciding to quit your job or just building like a side hustle, or even becoming an information synthesizer, getting clients, that sort of stuff. I will help you get your first 5 clients, whatever it is that you need help with. That being said though, guys, love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.